Hello, Oksana here again with my Sales Strategies That Work video series. How are you doing with reading the ebook and the homework from the previous video? Have you really given thought to who your customers are and what value you offer them? Or do you think you can skip this step and still increase your sales? That is where many business owners go wrong from the get-go. They think, of course I know what my target market is. Of course I know what I sell and what my product is, but believe me, there are so many reasons to rethink who your customers are and what your business is about. Your business idea may have been the latest thing when you started, but it's unlikely that it still is. You may not be taking into account changes in the market and trends affecting what your customers want and need. You may be focusing your efforts on the 80% of your customers that don't matter instead of 20% that do. You may have the completely wrong idea about what matters most to your customers in terms of your business. You may be trying to be everything to everyone instead of being the one and only expert in your niche. You may be so attached to your original idea and business model that you're blinded to the ways you can develop your offerings and expand to new markets. And let's face it, if you really had this down, you probably wouldn't need any help to increase your sales. That's because with the right foundation, successful strategies and systems flow organically and intuitively. But take heart, you're not alone. Most people make these mistakes. Both big and small businesses often confuse features and benefits with real value. Owners often don't realize that they are looking at things from their own perspective instead of their customers. That's why you need to create avatars. What's an avatar? Avatar is a persona, a model of your customer with a story. Sketching out avatar or customer profiles help you to really see things through your customer's eyes. Once you create these avatars, everything will shift for you. You will know who your best customers really are. You will know how to reach them. You will know how to increase the value of your offerings, and your marketing will be so targeted that your sales will grow exponentially. Let me give you an example of how this helped me with one of my early businesses. When I wanted to leave the corporate world behind and start my own business, helping people realize their potential, I thought I understood my initial market. I knew that as a professional coach, I could fast-track people to change more effectively than years of therapy could. I knew that coaching was rapidly becoming a go-to solution for many people in all walks of life and for many reasons. I knew how to run a business. I had owned a multi-million-dollar property enterprise and had held other corporate positions in marketing and finances besides. I threw myself into learning from every expert possible. I spent tons of money and time gaining professional accreditations and taking every course I could to make me the best of the best. I did help many people turn their lives around and with the first edition of my first coaching business, but I didn't see the return on investment I expected. I didn't feel satisfied financially or personally. I wasn't making the money I wanted, and I didn't feel like I was making enough of an impact volume-wise. I really wanted to be a force for change, and I didn't want to slave away day and night trying to do so, taking financial hits all the while. This was not the life I wanted or dreamt of. When I profiled my clients, when I created character descriptions and stories of each type of client I had, I saw that while I did had a number of high-paying and committed to change customers, executives and career seekers, as well as others willing to tackle their fears and fix their relationships, I had a disproportionately large segment of clients that struggled with depression. The problem? They wanted to change. They needed to change, but often didn't show up for appointments because they could not maintain motivation. When I really saw how much of my time was lost to no shows and my efforts to reach and help these clients on my own time, I remodeled my offerings, my marketing strategies, and my focus. 2 things I did ended up escalating my sales and impact not only for my depressed coachees, but all of my clients. I created and promoted my distance coaching offerings, telephone and Skype sessions, so meetings with me could work when and where it suited my clients best. And I created a number of interactive online programs so that clients could work on exercises when and where it suited them, but I built in checkpoints, assignments that needed to be handed in, and periodic sessions with me to improve accountability, commitment, and progress. I could write a book just explaining the number of times the reprofiling and retooling have changed everything for me. I have created a number of businesses since that first draft. My target market have changed and my offerings have changed. Evolution is the key. Your business plans, target market, offerings, and marketing strategies don't come from one-shot deal or perfect first-time effort. They evolve as your industry changes. Your customers change as you change. Do you think this all sounds like too much work? Take it from me, the opposite is true, because when you really identify the true value of your business to your customers, you build an authentic and truly valuable business brand, and then the hardest work is done and all your future changes just flow naturally from this foundation. First of all, who are your customers? There are 3 ways to profile your customers with demographics, psychographics, and behavioral characteristics. Demographics include things like age, gender, income level, education, career, and family size. Psychographics include things like interests, activities, and opinions, attitudes, motivations, and values. Behavioral characteristics are used to describe your customers' experience with your product or service, their knowledge of what you offer, rate of use, and loyalty. Demographics, psychographics, and behaviors often overlap and all tie together, but for now, you're going to try and generate psychographic attributes, the personality and motivations of your customers from demographic data. For instance, demographics might tell you that one of your market segments is a college graduate male aged between 45 to 64, married, who makes a good money as an executive. But the man that spends his money on exotic cars is way different than the man that takes an eco-tourist vacation. And the man that gives money to charity is a different one than the one that mentors social entrepreneurs. These are the characteristics you must try to extrapolate from demographic data and your own insight about your customers. Then you can create avatars, each a sample persona of the different types of customers that buy your product or service. So start with demographics. How old is this customer? What is their gender, profession, education and income level? Are they married? Do they have children? How old are their children? Where do they live? What kind of dwelling? What regions do they live in? These kinds of questions can apply to small business owners too. If your market is other businesses, determine the company size, how old it is, what stage of development it is in, their annual revenue, the number of branches they might have, and what regions they are in. Are they middlemen or do they deal directly with their customers? Is their business seasonal? How are their buying decisions made? Then add layers to your profile with psychographic questions like, are your customers conservative or liberal? Conformist or rule breakers? Are they socially conscious? Into power? Are they fun-loving or perhaps cutting edge? Do they follow trends or buck trends? Are they fashion conscious, family oriented, into health? Take your extrapolation a bit further. What might their hobbies be? Where do they go for entertainment? What associations might they belong to? What might they read? Where else might they shop? Are they into tech or into art? Do they go to 5-star restaurants, the local pub, or have barbecues at home? For example, a retired empty nester with income to spare will likely have a different interest and priorities than a struggling young professional with small children. But a wealthy stay-at-home mom is going to have still different activities, opinion, and interests. It's important to try and understand your customers' values, priorities, and motivations because this affects how you fit in their lives and helps you understand how to increase the value of your offerings to them. Create bios for each of your sample customers' avatars. A sort of day-in-the-life story that includes what's most important to them, what their real wants and needs are. Do they seek status of some kind? Or belonging to one group or another? Would they like to think of themselves as powerful, educated, trendy, socially conscious? Think about what's most important to each of your avatars. What are their secret desires? Their most pressing problems? What frustrates them? Scares them? What makes them feel good? What do they hope for? What keeps them awake at night? Once you have created these stories about your avatars, you can retool your offerings to increase your value to them. Your business is not simply the product or service you offer. It's not just quality or convenience that makes someone one of the 20% that account for 80% of your sales. What is your unique value proposition? What are your unique selling points? For every feature of your offering, try to think of how this offers value to your avatars. How do you solve a problem for them and fulfill a deep desire or need? How does your business align with their top values and priorities? If you think that your value is in how technologically advanced your product is, how convenient your services, your superb quality or price, think again. Any one of your competitors could quickly strip you of any of these selling points. It's the unique constellation of attributes that give your business the personality that your best customers connect to. Are you selling excitement or security? Sophistication or sincerity? Competence or indulgence? People make buying decisions based on emotional and unconscious needs and drives. Then, justify these choices with all the logical features and benefits your offerings may provide. So yes, consider how you're different from your competitors. But think about the combinations of things that make you irreplaceable. What makes you the kind of business this customer does business with? Is it the fact that you are a family business? Or that you are ultra-modern? Is it because you use sustainable products but are in economical options too? Or are you higher prices something customers are willing to pay for other reasons? It's a lot to think about, but well worth your effort. And I will tell you more about putting what you've learned to work in my next videos. Please do your homework, answer all the questions that I mentioned today, and I look forward to see you in the next video. If you enjoyed this video and found the information I gave you valuable, you will really love this ebook, Sales Strategies That Work, How to Thrive Rather Than Simply Survive, value of $40, and you are getting it absolutely free from me. So you can go beyond simply surviving, start building a thriving business and set it up for the success from the start, so your sales grow exponentially and shoot through the roof. This ebook is complimentary and go hand in hand with the video series, the fragment of which you just saw. Please click on the link below this video and you will get access to this amazing ebook instantly.